hope you're well. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ashton. I am still very new to YouTube and to the booktube community, but I am really enjoying making videos and just kind of sharing my journey and talking about what I love, which is reading and books. So thanks for being here, and thanks for subscribing and liking, and yeah, you're just amazing. So thank you. I'm very grateful for you. So today's video, I've seen many people do lots of different variations on this, where they go into detail about a series that they've started but haven't quite finished. And I thought to myself, I want to do that. I want to know how many series I have on the go that I've not finished or abandoned, or but I want to get done. I thought I'm interested to see how many I have, and I don't know if I'm that pleased about opening that can of worms. Let's put it that way. Okay, I calculated it. I did everything. I sat there, worked it all out, and in total I am currently either started or in the middle of 45 series. Yes, that number is shocking. It was shocking to me. I had no idea. Now I've included in that sort of duologies, trilogies, and then longer series as well. But yeah, I was fascinated to see actually how many I had on my shelves. But today I decided I'm just going to talk about the ones that I plan on kind of prioritizing over the next couple of months, or let's say this year, because there is quite a few of them. These are ones that I'm either very close to finishing, or these are ones that I actually physically have. Some of the series that I've started are on like ebook or audiobook, stuff like that, and a few of them I don't have the rest of the books in the series, so that's why I'm not going to prioritize those right now. But yeah, I thought I'd get into it, show you these, and then hopefully later down the line you might see a couple of vlogs of me trying to get through these books and actually finishing these series. So the first one I'm gonna talk about, or I'm gonna go into a little bit, is the series that I started this at the end of last year, and I really want to finish it, basically, because so far I've loved the first two books in the trilogy. There's a trilogy, and then a fourth book has come out that is set in the same world, so it's like an interconnected, and that is the Kingdom of the Wicked series by Kerri Maniscalco. I really like her writing. I am actually also in the middle of her, I say middle, but I started her other series, which was the Stalking Jack the Ripper one. I really enjoyed the Stalking Jack the Ripper. I don't have any of the other books, that's why it's not included in this video. But yeah, this is the final book in the trilogy, and I am very excited to finish this one off, and to see how it all wraps up. And then to follow on from that and finish off, I also have Throne of the Fallen, which follows on from this trilogy, but with different characters. So it's based on the 7 Princes of Hell, and in this trilogy we are with Prince Wrath, and then I believe this one is with, I think it's Prince Envy. Yes, Prince Envy is this one. It's quite a chonker. I don't normally like to buy hardbacks. I do prefer a paperback, but I just really wanted it and I didn't want to wait. And it is really pretty. And I don't have many pretty big hardbacks apart from my Once Upon a Broken Heart series. But yeah, so that's the first one. Now I'm going to go through, these ones are basically either the last book in a series, or the last book that I physically have in the series until I can get more. So the first one is by Tony Parsons, and this one is called Taken, and this is the last book so far in the series. I hope there's going to be more, because I really love Tony Parsons' writing. This whole series follows DC Max Wolf, I believe his name is, and they are just fantastic. They're gripping. They're all set in London, so obviously being a London girl, it's fantastic for me because I get to see and hear about all the kind of places that I've lived and grown up and I get to see on a daily basis. And I always love that in a story anyway. So yeah, this will bring me to finishing off that series. But like I said, I have no idea if he has any plans to bring out any more, but I do hope that he does. And I would definitely recommend this one because it's a great series. So that's that. Now this one I've put on in this list to prioritise. It's the last book that I have on my TBR shelf that is part of this series, and it's the Inspector Wexford series, which is by Ruth Rendell, and this one is called The Vault. Now I just finished my 4th Ruth Rendell book that is set in this series, but there's a lot of them. This one is, I think I've read the first 4. This one is like number 23 or something like that, but I've had this on my shelves for years, and I'm trying to get through my TBR this year, as you would have seen. I'm on a book buy and ban, and I just want to get as much of them down as possible, and then I can get new books. That's the plan. But yeah, I just want this off my shelves basically, and it's the last one that I have that is part of the Inspector Wexford series. I've got one more Ruth Rendell book, but I think it's just a standalone. So yeah, these are a bit difficult for me to get into, just because they were written, you know, sort of, we're talking like 60s, early 70s. So her writing style is a little different, but once you get into it, the actual kind of mysteries are really intriguing, and I do tend to enjoy them. So yeah, we've got that one. Now, as you would have heard many times, if you're not new, you know that James Patterson is my favourite author. If you are new, here you go. I love him. I love everything that he does. He is the reason that I fell in love with reading as a teenager, sort of like late teens. And most of the things he comes out with, I do tend to pick up. A little bit less, I think, over the last couple of years. There's a few ones that have kind of gone in directions that I'm just not interested in. But this series is the NYPD Red series. He writes this with Marshall Karp. I really like this series. I have read 1 to 5 already. Just haven't got around to finishing number 6, and now number 7 is coming out, but obviously I don't have number 7. But yeah, I want to get this one done. These are quick, easy reads, short chapters, super fast paced, and the stories are always just so clever, and they always keep me guessing, and I just absolutely love them. I can just escape in them, and they're great fun. Well, not fun for the people because it's crime, so, but fun for me. Next we have, this is the 3rd book in, currently it's a trilogy. I don't know if she's going to bring out any more. I hope she does, because I do like this character. And this is Case Sensitive, and it's by A.K. Turner, and it follows a character called Cassie Raven, and she is basically a mortuary assistant. She works in a morgue basically, But again, this is set in good old London. It's set in, she lives in Camden, and I just love her character. She's dark, she's unusual, but the dead kind of speak to her. It's not, I wouldn't say necessarily paranormal in that sense, but she just kind of feel things and she can get vibes and stuff, and really interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. The other 2 books in the series, first one is called Body Language, and the other one was Life Sentence, and I finished Life Sentence. I read that one last year, so yeah, I want to get this one done, and then hopefully she'll bring out some more. This one, again, this is not technically a series. They are all standalones, but they're written by the same author, and that's Alice Hunter. But they're quite similar. So the first one was The Serial Killer's Wife, then it was The Serial Killer's Daughter, and then this is the third one, and it's The Serial Killer's Sister. I've really enjoyed the other 2 books, and I'm intrigued to see how this one is. Again, really fast paced, so gripping, and I just can't put them down. I normally finish them within a day, 2 days max, like if I have the time. I'm presuming she will write more because these books are really popular, so hopefully she does. So that's that. And then this one is a duology. I read the first one last year and I absolutely loved it. Like, I laughed, I sobbed at some points, and it's actually like a middle grade book. It's called The Dead Good Detectives, and this one is called Ghost Rescue. So this is the second one. It follows on from the first book. And I'm just really excited to see where this goes. I loved it. I loved the characters. Jenny McLaughlin, she's also the author that wrote the Land of Raw series. I've not read the Land of Raw series. My daughter has read, I think, the first one. She really enjoyed that. This was bought for my daughter, but she decided that she didn't think she was going to read it. And I was actually intrigued by it. And I said, well, don't get rid of it. I'll read it. Absolutely loved it. And I'm excited to see where the adventure ends with these characters. And if you have middle grade children in your life, or even if you're a big kid at heart like me, I would highly, highly recommend the first one. And obviously I will let you know when I get round to it if the second one was just as good. Now, the next ones are, they're all obviously part of a series, but these are the next book in the series that I have. So I'm going to start with the Dinner Lady Detectives. This is by Hannah Hendy. I read the first one last year. There's 4 of them in total so far. I've got all 4 in physical copy. So this one is An Unfortunate Christmas Murder. So this is the second one. And it follows a team of dinner ladies, but more importantly, it follows the 2 main characters are 2 females that are both in their, I think they're in their like 60s, mid 60s, mid to late 60s, maybe early 70s, and they're just such fun characters, and the women that they work with, and they live together, and they just get into all sorts of mischief. And I really enjoyed the fact it wasn't amazing. Like, it didn't blow me away in the way that like the Thursday Murder Club did, but it was fun. It was quite short, and I really liked the characters. So I'm interested to see where she takes the series and some of the issues and trouble that they get into in this book. So yeah, that's the next one. This series is the Brennan and Esposito series. I found this series quite a few years ago, and I read the first book and fell in love with it. This series is by Tanya Carver. This is the second book, and it's called The Creeper. And the first one was called The Surrogate. It was so creepy, and it made me feel physically sick multiple times throughout the book. Probably because I think when I did read it, it had only been a few years since I'd had my daughter at the time. So it was quite sort of real and vivid sort of in my mind. So yeah, I was intrigued to continue, but I've only just, I think it was not last year, potentially the year before, I managed to collect all of the books. I had to buy some of them slightly secondhand from World of Books, just because a lot of them are not in sort of publication at the moment, or print, should I say. But yeah, this is the second book in the series. I think there are 7 or 8 in total. So I'm intrigued to see where we go with this one. Next is the Helen Grace series by MJ Aldridge. Now, I originally read the first 3 books in this series, and then just got distracted by so many other books and never picked it up again, but continued to collect the books each time a new one came out. So I think I have a couple missing. I think it's like 2 or 3 of the latest ones that have come out, but this is the 4th book, and this one is called Liar Liar. And I really like Helen Grace as a character. I really like MJ Aldridge's writing, the writing style, and the way they tell the story, just so gripping, and I'm excited to see where this one goes. Now, another James Patterson. This is the Instinct series, which, if you go back and watch my January wrap up, I read the first book in this series then. There are 3 in total, but I only have 2, so I need to get the 3rd one. But this is the 2nd one, and this one is called Killer Instinct. And the first one was okay. Like, it wasn't anything amazing. It didn't blow me away. Good storyline, good strong characters. Intrigued to read some more. That's basically where this one at, and it's all about Dr. Dylan Reinhardt, and he is a professor in criminal behaviour, and he teams up with, in the first one, he teams up with a detective. Yeah, here it is. So he's with her again in this one. She's Detective Elizabeth Needham, and yeah, so they're going to be on another hunt for another kind of killer. My favourite type of book. Also, in my January wrap-up, you would have seen me mention the Rizzoli and Isles series by Tess Gerritsen. I read the 3rd book in the series in January. I want to continue that. I have 12 of the books in total. I think there are 13 or 14 in total, or I have 11, something like that. But I want to get them done, because again, these are really fast-paced. These are really good. I love the characters. I love the TV show. The TV show, as I mentioned before, the TV show and the book, very, very different. But I can see elements of the characters in here, and I'm just intrigued to see what happens to them and where Tess Gerritsen takes it, because I really like her writing. So that's another one that I need to get through. Now, these books are part of the Twisted Tales, which are part of the Disney Twisted Tales. There are lots of these. I've read a good chunk of them. I think there are another 4, potentially 5 more that are out or coming out this year. There's about 2 or 3, I think, that are coming out this year. These are the physical ones that I own, that I would like to get through. Now, I've got What Once Was Mine, which is the Rapunzel, Twisted Tale with Rapunzel. This is currently on my February TBR, so hopefully I'm going to get to this very soon. And then I have Unbirthday, which is obviously the Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts. Intrigued to see that one. Then we've got Go the Distance, which is Hercules. This one is chunky. How many pages is it? It is 450. Not bad, but it just, for some reason, it looks really, really chunky. And this one is Almost There, which is The Princess and the Frog, Princess Tiana. So I do love that one. Not as keen on this one. I've never been very keen on Pinocchio, but I have When You Wish Upon a Star. But I'm intrigued enough to read them so that I can say I've read the series, basically. I think there's also a Sword in the Stone one that I don't have. There's the Incredibles one. And then coming out, I think there's a Robin Hood one, a Brave one, and I'm not sure what the last one was. Can't quite remember, but that's that. So those are all the series that I'm currently like in the middle of or close to finishing. Now, I've got a couple of series on my shelf that I haven't started yet, so I don't want to attempt to touch any of those really until I've made a bit of a dent in this. But I have 3 particular series by, surprise, surprise, James Patterson, that I've started, got quite a way through, and then just couldn't keep up because there's a book every year. There's another book. And then I just kind of got distracted reading other things. But as I said, I continue to collect them. So the first series is the Michael Bennett series, which he also writes with Michael Ledwidge. I read the first 4 books in this series, but this was quite a few years ago now. And I'm pretty sure they're up to like 15, 16. I have about 8 or 9 of them. But I'm going to have to start again to familiarise myself with the characters again and kind of what was happening and where we'd got up to, because there's no point in me trying to pick up. I'm just going to have no clue. So these series that I'm going through now are series that I have started, but I'm going to have to restart. So yeah, that's the Michael Bennett series. That's Step on a Crack. Then we have the Women's Murder Club series, which again, one of my favourite, absolutely love. He does tend to write these with other authors as well, I believe. This book is very old, as you can see by the size of it. I've had it a very long time. So this is the first in the series, and it's obviously called First to Die. These are numbered, and I think we are currently up to number 23. So again, I'm going to have to start again. Love this series, and I'm excited to get back into it and be back with all the characters and find out actually what happens down the line. And then finally, my all-time favourite series, my all-time favourite detective is Alex Cross. And this is the Alex Cross series. And this is one of the only series that James Patterson has that he writes completely himself. A lot of his other books, he has ghostwriters in with him, or just other authors that, you know, their names are always on there. But this one he writes by himself, and it's my favourite, and it always will be. And I absolutely love Alex Cross and the characters in it. Nana Mama, that's his grandma. She's like, right from the start, she's already in her 80s, and we're 30 odd books down the line, and I really hope she's still going, because she's my favourite character. But this is the first in the series, and that is Along Came a Spider. And again, these are really old. Look at the font, really tiny. But it's fine. I absolutely love this series, and I'm excited to start again with it and just fall in love with the characters. So that's it. That's all my series that I'm in the middle of and that I need to kind of that I'm going to be trying to prioritise. Let me know in the comments what your favourite series are, or if you know how many series that you're in the middle of that you need to finish. And yeah, that's it from me. Like I said, I'm going to try and do some videos along the way, a bit further down the line, try and see if I can get through some of these, and then see where we are at the end of the year and how many series I've actually managed to complete. But yeah, that's all from me. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next one.